Hey Lila, just want to let you know that starting from tomorrow, my little sister is going to be living with us. So sorry to ask, but I think you might need to prepare the guest room before then.
Wait, what? You mean Lila is going to be staying with us? And she's going to be arriving tomorrow?
Yeah, that's right. Apparently, she's been looking around for a job for a long time, but still hasn't found one. But she figured there's no real rush since she's just graduated, so she's just not going to work for a little bit.
Hold on a second. What, are you serious?
Yeah, well, she will find a job eventually and stuff. But for now, she's just going to be living with us until then, okay? I mean, it's not like I can just let my sister live all by herself when she doesn't even have a job, you know?
But Chris, how can you just drop this on me so suddenly? I mean, you never mentioned anything about any of this to me before, and this house belongs to my family.
I know, but I just didn't ever have any time to tell you it was happening. And besides, she only has until the end of the week to move out of her apartment, so she doesn't have any time to find a new place to live. We just figured that this would be the easier solution for all that she's going through right now.
And she doesn't have anywhere else to go? Why can't she live with your parents at their house? Why does she have to come and live with us?
That's because she still wants to find a job and live in the city, and our parents live way out in the boonies. She's worried that if she goes to live with them, that she'll be stuck out there forever. But also, rent is so expensive. And her parents said that now that she's graduated, she needs to support herself. So, as her older brother, it's up to me to step in and help her out.
And there really was no other option that you two can come up with besides having her move in with us. Well, if she's going to be living here with us, then we should ask her to contribute at least $200 to her living expenses a month. What do you think?
Hold on a second. You want to charge my sister for living with us? But I just finished telling you that she doesn't even have a job.
Look, she doesn't need to find a full-time job just to pay $200. That's really like child's play money right there. Just tell her that if she is going to be living with us, that she needs to take a part-time job or something to help contribute to the house. I think charging $200 a month is actually a great deal for rent in this city that you said is so expensive.
No. We are not going to be making family members pay to live with us. That's ridiculous.
Are you serious, Chris?
Like it or not, she is family and she is your older sister-in-law. So anyways, you need to show some respect and let her live with us. Got it?
Okay then. If she isn't going to pay any rent and just have a free living expense here, can we substitute it with her at least helping to clean up around here?
Are you kidding me right now, Lila? She's been running herself into the ground looking for a job, and you want to make her work while she's with us?
So you just want to let her live in our house, oh wait, let me correct myself, my house, and not have her do one single thing. Just live here rent-free, not helping me. She's basically a freeloader when you think about it. I'm sorry, but I refuse to go with any of these plans you have, Chris. This doesn't make any sense.
You're not getting it. My sister brings one thing to the house that we'll really need.
Oh, so she is bringing something. And what is that exactly?
Well, when she moves in with us, she's going to be bringing her Mastiff with her too.
Wait a second. She's going to be moving in and bringing a huge dog with her too?
Yeah, she adopted the little fella about a month ago. She was getting so stressed out looking for a job and needed some companionship. At first, he was so tiny, but now he's a great big dog perfect for guarding the house while we're away. So it's really a 2-for-1 deal, get it? Besides, surely you want a dog to have around the house too, right?
Why would your sister adopt a dog when she has no money and she's about to be kicked out of her apartment? And most of all, why would she choose such a huge breed? Besides, you know the big dogs freak me out. I told you that I was bitten by one when I was little, remember?
I know, but think of it as a chance to grow up and face your fears. Anyways, just make sure that Meg's room is ready by tomorrow, okay?
Hey Lila, you there? I was just curious. Did you put tomatoes in that pasta you made for lunch? Because I actually really hate tomatoes.
Oh, really? I had no idea about that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so while I'm really glad that you're nice enough to make my lunch every day, could you please try and make something without tomatoes next time? I would have thought that my brother already told you about the things I like and don't like to eat. So maybe just be a little more considerate about my taste next time, okay?
You know, Chris and I have never talked about what you like and don't like to eat. But if you have a problem with what I cook for you, then maybe you can just get up and cook something yourself.
You mean you expect me to cook for myself?
Well, you only seem to complain about what I make for you, so why don't you just fix something for yourself since you know your taste so well? I mean, we're already letting you live here for free, and I'm cooking for you too, so if you have a problem for what I make for lunch, you can just make it yourself, like I said. Which reminds me, you really need to take better care of your dog and stop asking me to feed it and walk it for you. I'm not your mother, and I'm not going to keep doing everything for you now that you're a grown adult.
Ugh, you've got to be kidding me. I can't believe that you're going to treat me like this. I've been out all day looking for a job, you know? All I ask is that you fill up the doggy bowl every now and then, and this is how you treat me?
Oh, are you really looking for a job? Because it doesn't seem that way to me. Every time I walk by your room, all I see you doing is watching videos on YouTube. You're just goofing around.
Oh, that's not true. I really am looking for a job, I swear. You just happen to walk by when I'm taking little breaks because I'm so exhausted after looking for job after job and they just don't match the descriptions I'm looking for. The only problem is that I'm trying to find a job that's perfect for me and my lifestyle. I need one that pays me 50 grand a year, gives me weekends off as well as holidays, and if I don't have every one of those check marks listed, then I won't work. And do you really want me in the kitchen cooking for myself? Because I kept setting things on fire at my last place when I would try to do it. So if I try cooking for myself, I might just end up burning my big brother Chris's house down.
Well, if you can't get to the stove, why don't you just buy yourself some instant noodles and just heat it up in the microwave?
Wow, you know I don't have a job, so I don't have any money, and you're asking me to go out and buy my own lunch now too. All right then, how about you give me some money so I can go out and buy my own lunch then? That way, I wouldn't have to tell you how bad your cooking is every day.
You're fixing your mouth to ask me to buy you lunch now, too.
Yeah, and it would be really nice if you did that for me. I mean, I'm already getting an allowance from my big brother, but it just isn't enough to cover everything. He only gives me about $500 a month. Can you believe that?
Hold on a second. Chris is giving you $500 a month and you've already spent it all?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you now for money. You give me money, I buy my own lunch, and you don't have to cook for me anymore. I'm making maybe like $20 a day. How does that sound to you? That would put it around $600 a month, and yeah, I can work with that.
Letting you live in this house for free is more than you deserve. Are you seriously asking me for an allowance now too? I'm sorry, but I have no intention of paying you to do nothing all day, and I won't be giving you a dime.
Ugh, you are really a jerk. You know that? I can't believe that you're treating your younger sister-in-law this way, even though you know I don't have a job. I really never thought that you were this type of person before, Lila. Well, I have nothing more to say to you. Let me throw away this nasty pasta.
Hey, Meg, I was just curious if you were home. For some reason, my key isn't working on the front door. Would you mind opening it for me?
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that one. I'm not going to let you take a single step in this house. And if you're wondering why your key isn't working, that's because I changed the locks on the door, so you can just turn around and find someplace else to live.
Oh, no, you didn't. You did what to the locks of the house?
Look, I had no choice. You were making this house an unbearable place to live in for me. You didn't cook for me in forever, and no matter how many times I asked, you never gave me any spending money. Well, I don't want a sister-in-law like you if that's how you're going to treat me, so you can just get out of here.
Are you kidding me? You are such a spoiled little brat, Meg. And unlike your brother, I am not going to tolerate this kind of nonsense from you anymore. I'm sorry things aren't perfect for you here, but you don't get to throw out the owner of the house because of it.
What are you even talking about, Lila? You don't own this house. Chris does. You may be his wife, but it doesn't mean that this house actually belongs to you or anything like that.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means that I heard from Chris about how you didn't even want me to come and live with you two in the first place. But I did get to come and live here because that decision isn't up to you. It's up to my big brother since it's his house.
Meg, you are really making a big mistake here.
And just what mistake might that be, huh? You think you can trick me because you're older or something? Well, from where I'm standing, this house is only for me and my big brother. I don't want to live with a jerk like you anymore, so just leave and never come back.
You are seriously asking for it, Meg.
I thought that my brother told you to be nice to me. Well, you haven't been nice to me ever since I got here. Not once. All you do is nag at me looking for a job.
And you have yet to find a job, right?
See, there you go again, like a broken record. It's never, how are you, Meg? Or, what did you do today, Meg? You only care if I have a job or not. Well, I'm sick and tired of it, you old hag.
What did you just call me?
I'm just so fortunate that my big brother has such a big heart and is willing to help people in need like me. But since you can't respect the rules of this house or my brother's wishes, then you can just leave. Just go.
Rules of the house, huh? How noble of Chris to use my house to help you.
Just what is that supposed to mean?
What that means is that you have no idea what you're talking about, little girl. You've been freeloading in my house this whole time, and instead of being grateful or offering to help out all day, you just do nothing, not even looking for a job. Well, I had my fill of your horrible, ungrateful attitude. I'm done.
Wait, I don't understand. What do you mean this is your house? That can't be right. My brother bought this house.
And just what makes you think that's the case? Tell me, who told you that?
Well, I mean, after you and Chris got married, you both moved in here, right?
You really don't have a single clue about what's going on, do you? Well, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but this is my family's heirloom. Both of my parents died when I was younger, and it had been sitting empty in this lot for a while. But after Chris and I got married, we decided to move into it and fix it up a bit, so the house never belonged to your brother.
Are you kidding me?
In fact, it was your big brother who told me literally one day before you showed up that you were going to be moving in here with no warning whatsoever, and you assumed you could do whatever you want because you thought it was Chris's home. But I refuse to stand by and do nothing anymore. If you want to keep living in this house, you are going to start paying rent every month.
Wait, what? You're going to start charging me rent now?
That's right. And for a place like this, I think a starting price of $2,000 is more than fair. And I'll start collecting on the first of the month, so don't be late paying your landlord.
But that's way too expensive. I can't afford that much in rent.
Oh, and that doesn't include utilities, not to mention the fact that you'll be buying your own food from now on. I imagine that'll probably be another $1,500 for utilities and probably another $2,000 a month for food and other living expenses. And maybe you can ask your big brother for help, but that means you're looking at another $4,000 a month to live here.
You expect me to pay $4,000 a month just to live here? But I don't even have a job. I don't have any income to pay you. I wonder if Chris will be able to afford all of that on his salary.
I really don't think that you're going to be able to ask him to cover everything. It's been a long time since his last raise, and he doesn't make that much anyways. I actually pay about 90% of all of our expenses, but I suppose it couldn't hurt to ask your big brother for help again.
Does my big brother really make that much of a low pay at his job?
That's right. But I know you can find a job somewhere that makes your checklist, that can really supplement your income. Although, it's really doubtful that you'd be making $50,000 out of the gate.
Hey, Lila, are you really going to be moving out of the house? You're really not going to be coming home at all?
I'm afraid so. Your sister locked me out of the house and told me to get out, so I don't have anywhere to go.
Well, don't worry. I spoke to Meg and I told her that she needs to get her act together. Please, you have to forgive her. She's still really young. Just come back home to us. Please?
I am only going to come home on the condition that if I do, Meg has to go.
Oh, come on, don't be unreasonable, Lila. She's still looking for a job. You know this.
Well then, I guess I just won't be going back home. Maybe you heard from Meg, but I'm going to be charging both of you rent now that you'll be living there along with your sister, and I'm going to give you a special rate of $2,000 each a month. How's that?
Come on now, hon. You know that neither of us can afford that. Please don't act like this.
Act like what? I'm the one who was forced to take on a freeloader, and now I'm kicked out of my own house by said freeloader. I have half a mind to divorce you, Chris.
Hold on a second. You want to get a divorce now?
You just let your sister come to live with us without ever talking about it to me once. I'm your wife, and you just made this decision all on your own. Not only that, but you were giving your sister an allowance of $500 a month.
Well, I mean, come on. She's my little sister, and I felt really bad for her.
And what about your wife? Have you ever thought about me throughout this whole ordeal? Did you ever feel bad?
What do you mean?
I mean that last week was my birthday and you didn't do or get me anything. I've had so much stress building up ever since Meg came to stay with us, and you haven't done anything at all to help. If anything, you just lied to me about what you had so you could keep sponsoring Meg.
Now hold on. I wasn't lying per se.
I mean, I would have been happy if you had just gotten a cake from the grocery stores. It didn't have to be anything fancy. Don't you see how hard I've been working for all of us? No, I've made up my mind. I do want a divorce. I'm going to collect the paperwork first thing tomorrow.
Hold on a second, please. I really was hurting financially, I swear. And you're right. I should have talked about Meg moving in with us a long time ago. But we don't have to get a divorce over this, right?
It's way too late to try and apologize your way out of this now, Chris. If you really don't want this to be the end of us, then you need to put some action behind those words and do what's right.
Lila, please, you have to help me. My dog started growling at me and I think he's going to attack me.
What happened to your dog?
Well, after you finally got out of here, I thought that I would take him out for a walk since it had been so long, and then when I took him out of the house, he wasn't listening to me at all. He just got more and more upset with me, and he started to growl at me. I tried to pet him, and he nearly bit my hand off.
Wow, I wonder what could have gotten into him. He never acts like that when I've taken him on walks before.
But then when I got back home, I couldn't open the door. I tried calling Chris, but he just told me to go away. He kicked me out of the house. Can you believe it?
No, I'm actually shocked. I guess he finally grew a backbone and put his money where his mouth is.
But I don't get it. Why can't I stay with you two any longer? Please, I can't be out here with this dog. Tell Chris to let me inside. I don't know what's gonna happen at this rate.
They always said dogs were a good judge of character. Maybe he understands just what you've been doing this entire time. Not to mention the fact that I've been the one taking care of him, and you were the one who threw me out. Oh, I guess he misses me, huh?
So you're saying that he thinks I'm a bad person or something like that? But he's my dog. I own him.
As for your brother, I told him that I would leave him if he didn't throw you out of the house. Well, I guess you can see the choice he finally made.
So he chose you over his own little sister? This is ridiculous. How could he just throw me out like this? My own brother.
Just give it a rest already. Go home, Meg, to your own parents' home. It's over. Can't you see that?
I can't do that, though. I told my mom and dad that I already found a job and a place to live here.
Why would you tell them something like that?
Well, I didn't want them to think that I didn't know how to take care of myself. I didn't even go to college. I've just been lying to them for the past 4 years about what I've been doing.
Well, in that case, you really need to go home and own up to them. I can't believe that you lied to me, your brother, and your parents about this whole entire thing.
But I really do want to find a job now, I promise. So please, don't kick me out. It's the only place I've got to live now. I promise that I'll start paying rent as soon as I find a place to work.
No, I'm afraid that I've already made up my mind. In fact, I've already told your parents about what's been happening too, so I asked them to pick you up and take you home.
Wait, what? How could you do that? I'll have to tell them everything when they get here. You can't do this to me!
Well, it wasn't long after that Meg's parents showed up to our place to pick her up. I heard from Chris that they gave her a serious lecture in front of our lawn and our neighbors, and after that they dragged her back home and set her up with a job with a family friend who owns a small business. In exchange for letting Meg live with them, however, they had complete control over her salary. They made sure to give her a couple of $100 every month for whatever she wanted to spend it on, and the rest she had to pay for rent. Chris and I tried to make things work after all that happened, but it was no use. I mean, I told Chris again that I wanted a divorce, and he started to break down and cry in front of me. I told him that if he didn't want to lose me, he would have to work hard and pay his fair share of our expenses. After that, he really started to focus on his work and started getting more raises and promotions. As for me, well, things settled down after that. However, Meg's parents weren't really big fans of big dogs like the one she had, so I agreed to take him in, having grown fond of the cute little guy. He is a big dog, so he stays in the backyard with his own little doghouse, and yeah, he just has room to run and play and live the good life.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.